Welcome to Real Life with Jenny. My name's Jenny Senaparatna.
And I'm Samantha Senaparatna, Jenny's daughter.
Today, as you can see, we have a special guest. So, grab your favorite drink and your snack. Today, I've got water, because we have a water challenge going on, and some chili cheese burritos, just not to keep me too healthy. What do you got, Sam?
I got crackers and lemonade, and also Mom has a Twinkie, but she did not share that part.
I did not share my Twinkie part, because I wasn't going to share it, but here we are. Real Life with Jenny. Let's get started. So I actually invited Samantha on the podcast because she was sharing with me earlier about some cornerstones in her life. And so we're going to go back in time. Are you ready for time travel, Sam?
Yep.
Okay. We're a nerd family. It's okay. We're going to do some time traveling. Samantha just finished 7th grade. She's 13 right now. And we're going to rewind life to 3rd grade. Are you ready, Sam?
Yep.
All right. I should make some kooky noise or something like as a time machine. Beep, 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 beep. Okay, that's not what a time machine. Anyway, Samantha, let's rewind and tell me a little bit about what was going on in your life in 3rd grade.
In 3rd grade, one of my best friend at that time wasn't in my class, which was a huge deal because I was quieter, and I had to start making new friends. And along with that, we were also prepping to sell my grandparents' house, and my uncle got engaged to an awesome young woman who's now my aunt. But it was just a bunch of change, and then, yeah.
So at this point, also, what she's not mentioning, 3rd grade was a really rough year for Sam for being an only child. If you know me or you've listened to any of my podcasts, you know I have one child, and here she is. And she was really struggling with mom and dad are really boring, and we were not much entertainment in 3rd grade, or maybe in life, I'm not real sure, but we had a dog. And so before we had Samantha, was dealing with a lot of infertility issues, and we got a dog. His name is Tyler James. He was a mama's dog. He loved me and tolerated everybody else.
He protected me, and I annoyed him, like a normal sibling relationship.
Right. You did annoy him quite a bit. But he was my fur baby, and on May 11th, we had to put I almost said the wrong name. We had to put Ty down, and he wasn't feeling well, and there was a lot of health issues, and so it was time for him to move on to doggy heaven. We picked Samantha up about an hour early from school, and had to break the news to Samantha. Samantha, would you like to tell us a little bit about that experience for you?
It was really lonely, and it was very hard. I was going through a lot of grief, and I was kind of like, where are you, God? If you are real, where are you? And at that point, I was following Christ, but I didn't really have a relationship with him, besides that my parents were very strong in Christ and were in ministry. But it was very hard because I was having doubts, and during summer and I went to summer camp that summer.
Wait, before you go to summer camp, what was the one thing that was going on during that time when Ty died that really frustrated you with me?
Okay. So, Mom was going through a lot of grief, and she was a little stubborn, and a lot stubborn, and she didn't want another dog.
I put my foot down. There was going to be no dog. We were done. No dog. I just took the microphone away from her. She's looking at me. Here you go, Sam.
Because no dog during the summer. That was her time to grieve. Then we were going on a trip, yeah, and not the fall, and so you couldn't have a dog then. And then it's Christmas, and then we go on another trip, and then it's summer again, but we don't have any time during the summer because of all the camps. And then it's school again, and then we're never getting a dog. Ever.
So Samantha headed to camp in 3rd grade. How did that go?
It was really fun, and that was the first time that I experienced God, and that was, I realized I experienced Him, and I knew that God was real. Besides that, of all the miracles, I experienced that,
for the first time. So I actually, because she's an only, I thought I'm going to go to camp with her. I was involved in kids ministry, and I love kids. I really do. I love them to death. But I knew I couldn't be a camp counselor because she needed her space. Yes, she fervently said she needed her space. So I went up as a camp grandma, which basically means you go up and you kiss the boo-boos and you try to help little kids feel better about not being with their mom and dad, because most of them, it's the first time they've been away from their parents for more than a night. So I was actually, while Sam was experiencing God, I was in the back with 2 little girls who were both crying because they missed their moms, and I was consoling them. And I had a still small voice come into my heart, and I went, this must be God, because I don't agree with it. I was very like, no, we're not doing this. And God said to me, Samantha needs a dog. It's time for you to give in, and you need a dog. And I was like, yep, too bad. Don't want a dog. Because I didn't want another dog. And I felt that very strongly. And I came home and I told Kevin, I said, I think we're supposed to get a dog. And he said, okay, good. Been waiting for you to get on board. And we started the process. We started the process of looking at different breeds, seeing what kind of dog would fit into our lifestyle. My husband has a traveling ministry, and we didn't want to have a dog that we had put in a kennel all the time. We wanted a dog that was friendly and loving and kind. So we started looking, right?
This is not on the script, but I remember the first time we went to the mall to check out a breed, and we petted the dog, and I was like, that's the one. And it was very difficult to realize that was not the one, and I was just,
Yeah, it was a summer of losses because we lost our dog. And then my grandparents' home we sold that year, which we kind of used as a cabin. And exciting because my brother got married. And then I turned 40. Yes. Can you even believe it? I turned 40. My daughter was just horrified that I was that old. But that's okay.
I was not. She's exaggerating.
But I was old. I had a huge birthday party. It was on a Saturday. It was super fun. My friends and coworkers came out. And what did we do the next day, Samantha?
So we got in the car and we drove to this dog farm we had checked the website, and we planned the names if we were going to get a dog, which Mom said we probably won't get a dog.
But we picked the names, so here we go. What are the names?
If it was going to be a boy, it was Caspian Frodo. If it was going to be a girl, it would be Hope Leia, like in Princess Leia.
Right, because you have to have a nerd name. So we got to the dog place, and I had a specific dog that I was looking for because all their dogs were on the website. And I found out once we got there, Kevin had a specific dog he was looking at. So I got to see my little dog. Her name was Hope because that's what we had chosen, Hope Leia. Oh, she was so cute. She was just itty bitty and snuggly and just wonderful. And Kevin was like, well, can we check out the other dog? So we walk out to find.
So he was playing in the sprinklers, and he was covered nose to tail with mud.
No, yeah, mud. People, okay, all moms, take a breath here. My husband's like, hey, let's get the dog covered in mud. So they say, okay, if you want to see this dog, we need to give it a bath. It wasn't like, ooh, we're kind of muddy. He was covered in mud. So they took the dog, the boy dog, and they gave him a bath. And meanwhile, I am now bonding with the little girl dog, Hope. I'm snuggling with her, and okay, my heart was just growing every moment I was holding him, kind of like the Grinch, where it, gets a little bit bigger. And a couple with a little girl came over and said, are you getting that dog? And I was like, well, we're thinking about it. Like this dog's in the running. And they said, well, can we hold the dog? I was foolish. And I said, sure, you can hold the dog. And all of a sudden, within about 5 minutes, they came over to me and said, I'm sorry, we're buying this dog. And I was like, oh no, that's my dog. That's the dog I love. They're taking my Hope away. Yes, I'm funny. But meanwhile, as I'm snuggling and losing my Hope, Sam and Kevin are playing with the little muddy dog. He is now clean, and he is playing and snuggling with them and just weaseling his way into their heart. And Kevin brought over the dog and said, look, isn't he cute? And I remember looking at him going, well, he's okay. And Kevin and Sam felt like this is the dog. He is the right fit. So I then let them continue to play, and I went over to pay for the dog. So I'm over with the young man who was helping us check out to get the dog. And he's like, okay, as you're writing out the check, you need to know the specifics about the dog. He's a Cavalier Havanese. And blah, blah, blah. He's got this shot, that shot. I don't know. It was this bunch of stuff. And he's like, and his birthday is May 11th. I started crying. The poor kid was like, what is happening? I started crying, and I turned to Kevin and I said, he was born the same day Ty died. And I will never forget that moment, because we don't believe in reincarnation. He is not Ty Point 2. He is nothing like Ty was. He is friendly and loving and
the opposite of Ty.
Yes, he is the opposite of Ty. But God knew at that point that when Ty died, he had already brought another dog into the world for us, which I just thought was so neat. What did it mean to you, Sam?
It meant that it was my first miracle that I had ever experienced, and I have Buddy, okay, he's on my lap right now, but it showed that he cared about the little details of my life, that or big in this case, very big on my lap, but like he cares about it, and that he cares enough that he plans ahead of time.
Right. So I felt like when Sam was sharing how this was really a foundation piece in her faith, how God knew in her deepest sorrow at that point in her life, it was the darkest time when her brother, her dog friend, Ty, died, that God had already supplied and brought into the world a new brother, who is Caspian Frodo and is part of our everyday life, and is Sam's confidant. That's what it is, confidant. And she was sharing before about what happened last night. Can you share a little bit about what happened last night?
So we had a thunderstorm, and if you have a dog, normally they shake violently, and they are fear-stricken. And you know that it's okay, but they don't. And so he came to me and was like, can I be with you? And he laid in my lap, and I read him a book, and it was just nice to, like, be the protector, like Ty was for me, kind of.
Right. It's been fun to watch because Sam is not alone, and it's not the same as a sibling. But for Samantha, it's actually better because the sibling, it doesn't talk back and doesn't fight. So it's kind of nice. But really, the reason that we wanted to share the story is because quite often in life we forget the miracles and the little things that God cares about. The other day, I shared on my podcast about jelly beans and how I was praying that the Lord would multiply my jelly beans in this crazy time.
And he did. 2 bags. Two bags, like not small bags, but like huge bags, like packaged bags full of jelly beans were delivered.
Right. I had some friends who heard the podcast. Thank you. And I cried. I did. Just like I cried the day that I heard May 11th was the day that our new dog was born. I cried because I knew that God cared about that small detail in my life. And really, in this day and age, our hope has been stolen. Someone has come over and said, hey, can I look at that? And taken our hope and run away with it. And we are looking at really crazy times in the world right now. And this is just a quick reminder for everyone that God cares about our details. Sam?
And he'll give you a Caspian. If someone has taken your hope away, he'll just have to find a Caspian. Because God provides a Caspian.
Right. God has a Caspian around the corner for you. So, really, that's all we have to share today. So, we're going to make it a little bit shorter. Did you have something you wanted to share? She looked over at me like, Mom, are you done? Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I want you to subscribe to this podcast because you never know when Samantha's going to show up again. You can find me on Facebook at Real Life with Jenny or on YouTube with Real Life with Jenny. I really appreciate you, and I pray that you find hope or your Caspian this week. Have a great week.